cupcake or the brownie we're afraid of. Rationally, we know it's not going to attack us. Hey, it's your girl Liv, and here I talk about all things eating disorder recovery, autism, and mental health. Today, I'll be teaching you how to overcome fear foods, providing you with practical tips so that you can finally enjoy the foods you love again. In order to understand fear foods and how we can overcome them, we must first understand fear. Fear is a primal emotion that is designed to protect us from threats. When we perceive danger, our sympathetic nervous system is triggered, which is widely known as the fight or flight response. This fight or flight response starts in the amygdala, a small part of your brain located in the brainstem. The human brain as we know it evolved from the brainstem. Some animals, such as reptiles, don't even have a brainstem, which is why this part of our brain is often referred to as the reptilian brain. Our reptilian brain is responsible for food, safety, and anything else that has to do with survival. When your survival brain feels threatened, it reacts without consulting the cerebral cortex, aka the logical part of your brain. Staying alive is the main biological goal of our nature and doesn't require executive functioning. If your brain perceives danger, it will want you to get the hell out of the danger zone. There's no time for messing around and consulting the cerebral cortex first. So, what does this have to do with eating disorders and fear foods? Well, when you are malnourished, your survival brain perceives a food scarcity and thinks you need to migrate to a place where there is enough food. I explained this migration response and the in-depth science behind comparison in my videos on rest days and comparison, so check those out if this phenomenon sounds new to you. But for now, let me give you an example of this migration response. For a migrating mammal, stopping for food would lessen the chances of achieving the abundant lands. So when you get mad at people who try and make you eat, it totally makes sense from a biological perspective. It's the same reason why it often feels rewarding when other people eat more than you, because your primal brain perceives that as a heightened opportunity to get to the abundant lands first. Of course, rationally, you know there's no food famine, but as I just mentioned, your brain doesn't consult with your rational brain when it comes to survival. When you're living with an eating disorder, you are constantly living in your sympathetic nervous system as your body constantly believes that it's in danger. That also helps explain why hunger cues are absent during active anorexia. When in fight or flight mode, your body cannot be distracted by hunger cues as its main focus will be to escape the danger. To give another tangible example of fear, think about being faced by a tiger in the wild. Are you afraid of the tiger? You may think that you are, but not necessarily. You're most likely afraid of the unpredictability of what the tiger may do to you. This is what elicits the fear response, because as soon as you're in a zoo and that tiger is behind glass or in a cage, you're suddenly not afraid anymore. So it's not the tiger itself that you're afraid of, it's the unpredictable situation you find yourself in. I find this tiger example to be the perfect one when it comes to understanding why we have fear foods. We often think we're afraid of the food itself, but it isn't the cupcake or the brownie we're afraid of. Rationally, we know it's not going to attack us. What we are afraid of is the unpredictability around eating of this cupcake or this brownie. We're afraid of change and doing something different. And like I said before, biologically, we're afraid of not reaching the abundant lands. Perhaps we're afraid that if we eat the cupcake, we have opened the floodgates to binging and may never stop eating. If that is a fear you have, I highly recommend you read my blog post with that same name, as well as the one I wrote about extreme hunger while being weight restored. I will link both below. Now, what I just said is really important to understand because it allows you to take away the power from the fear food itself, and it opens the opportunity to finally be able to challenge the fear. Just like in the tiger example, the fear is not caused by the animal or the object itself, but the uncertainty around the object. So to overcome fear foods, just like overcoming a fear of tigers, you need to take away that uncertainty. You need to build that safety net, in this case, a sense of certainty around fear foods. So how do you do that? You take away any and every aspect of uncertainty that will surround the situation in which you will tackle the fear food. When I was very ill, I would always say, tomorrow I'll eat the brownie, or tomorrow I'll eat the proper meal, but then it was the end of tomorrow and I hadn't done it because I hadn't set myself up for success. When we are surviving with an eating disorder, we are enslaved to rigid rituals and routines. Unless we make a conscious effort to change, we will continue on with our safe and trusted habits. To break these habits and conquer your fears, you need to get crystal clear on the situation in which you'll be doing so. In coaching my one-on-one clients, I use the same method that Olympic athletes use before winning a race: visualization. What these athletes do is they literally imagine themselves crossing the finish line before even doing it, so when they actually have to do it, it wasn't anything new. This works the same way for conquering fear foods. The reason why our safe foods feel safe is because our brain knows the outcome of eating them. We've eaten them so many times before that there are no longer elements of uncertainty involved. When eating a fear food for the first time, it creates this fight or flight response because it's different and it's uncertain, and you've probably never done it before or not in a long time. The good news is that you can trick your brain into thinking it's not the first time, and you do this through visualization. In your visualization, take the following questions into account. Where will you be? Who will you be with? What will you be wearing? What time will it be? Where will you buy the food? What will the food be? What does it taste like? By almost conquering the fear food in your head beforehand, you're setting yourself up for success, because then when it comes to actually doing it, your brain already perceives this as a safe thing to do because you've done it before. Just like coaches have seen with their athletes, I've seen this work countless times with my clients during one-on-one coaching. Sometimes it can be very helpful to have someone hold you accountable when it comes to obstacles and challenges, and I would absolutely love to help you. Please give this video a big thumbs up if it inspired you in any way, and subscribe if you're new here, and you can schedule a free consult call for one-on-one coaching via the link in the description below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.